Have you ever wondered how far you are willing to go to protect your loved ones? This story is not just a story about revenge, it is a story about love, betrayal, and the spark that ignites the fire in your heart. Find out what consequences it brought, not only to me, but to everyone around me. Get ready for an exciting journey full of surprises and shocking discoveries. Andrei's parents always wanted the best for him: a successful career, a decent life, and a good family. However, their ideas about love and relationships often differed from reality. The role model was Andrei's father, who in his youth broke more than one heart, as he liked to boast kindly. Once, when Andrei complimented his father that he was always surrounded by beautiful women, his father replied, not without pride, "You know, son, women love confident men. The main thing is the whole world at their feet, even if the world is not yet in your hands." These words fell into the soul of Andrei. He was convinced that charm were the keys to any woman's heart. Each new acquaintance he perceived as another trophy, not paying attention to the feelings of his new girlfriend. It seemed that his parents dreamed of educating Andrei into an ideal Casanova. "Every girl should admire you," said Mom. "Remember, success is measured by the number of hearts you heal or break," summarized the father. Andrei was certainly gifted in this art. He changed girls like gloves, masterfully avoiding attachments. Every new encounter was a game to him, and he was a strategist. He dumped girls with ease, sometimes not even realizing how much he hurt. But fate decided to test Andrei. His last girlfriend, Victoria, was perfect. Everyone around them talked about their inevitable marriage. Parents were happy, dinner parties, plans. But on their wedding day, something happened. Standing at the altar, Andrei suddenly realized, "I'm not ready." He looked around, saw the guests, his parents, but felt a frightening emptiness, and he ran away. Asterisk. Sergei, Andrei's best friend, was the complete opposite of him. He had a girlfriend he'd been seeing for a few years, and they were making serious plans. "You just don't realize what you're losing," Sergei once told Andrei when they were sitting in a cafe, enjoying a cappuccino and fresh croissants. "Lose what?" Andrei was sincerely surprised, shrugging his shoulders. "Dullness and boredom?" "No, a real connection," Sergei answered, looking thoughtfully into the mug. "Love is not a conquest or a scoreboard, it's a partnership in which you support each other." Andrei only grinned. "You're like something out of a Soviet movie. Do you really believe that?" "Maybe I do, but I feel good," Sergei answered with confidence. "And I feel good like this," smiled Andrei. Only then, young Andrei did not fully understand what awaited him next. And soon his firm beliefs as a Casanova, which were so reverently cherished in him by his parents, began to crack at the seams. One autumn day, Andrei met Anastasia, a girl completely different from his usual environment. She did not pay attention to him like everyone else, did not throw herself at his feet, and was not even interested in him. She was only interested in the paintings she had come to see. It was only on the 5th or 6th attempt that Andrei managed to get this girl to talk to him. "I don't think beauty matters," Nastya said, frowning at the uninteresting installation. "Meaning is what really matters." Andrei laughed. "Meaning, you say? And what meaning do you find in it?" Nastya looked at him intently. "And you? Are you curious about what's behind people's outward images?" This question stayed with Andrei long after their meeting. Andrei realized that simple conversations with Nastya made him think much more than all those notorious romances he had spun before. She asked him questions he couldn't answer at once, which annoyed him but also attracted him. And he thought for the first time, what if Seryoga, his old and loyal friend, was right? What if his parents, no matter how loved and close they are, do not quite understand what it means to be a really close person, but they are happy? This confidence of Andrei's soon dissipated too. One day he was walking home and on the way saw his father and some girl kissing. This plunged the young man into shock. How could this be? His parents had always been an example to him. Even though they taught him that he should take everything from life, their unit of society somehow calmed him down, gave him stability. The boy immediately went to his mother to tell her the bitter truth. But she just waved her hand and giggled. "Darling, what did we teach you? We taught you that girls should admire you. Your father is just like you. He's married to me. That's the main thing. He and I have an open relationship." Andrei jumped out of the house and ran away. He didn't understand. His inner world was crumbling. How could this be? His mom is just like the girls he and his father dumped and cheated on. It's not right. A few weeks later, when Andrei and Nastya were having dinner in a cozy restaurant, she asked, "What do you think true love is?" Andrei, realizing for the first time that he had never seriously asked himself such questions, said, "I used to think it was just when people are good together, but now I'm beginning to realize that it's not that." Nastya caught the change in his voice. "Do you notice that it's one thing to be with a person and another to be with a person who understands you?" This phrase made Andrei think, maybe that is what is the real wealth in life. "And you have nothing to say to me?" Nastya tilted her head. I love you," Andrei said loudly, "and I admit it to you, and to myself." Anastasia's face broke into an acerbic and very caustic smirk. She immediately jumped to her feet and looked directly into her victim's eyes. "You know, you don't even remember my sister, Vika, the one you left in the white dress in front of the altar." The guy's eyes widened in surprise. "She's in the hospital now because you broke her spirit. She never recovered from everything you did to her." Andrei tried to utter at least a few words to say something against it, but he couldn't manage it. Nastya had dumped Andrei, saying that their relationship was just part of her revenge. She had broken his spirit for the first time. He couldn't believe that none of it was true. That same night he cried as he realized his heart was broken once again. Her leaving was like a knife in the back. He agonized for weeks, replaying the whole story in his head, and each time his heart broke again. For weeks, Andrei tried to come to his senses. He compared all his past relationships with what happened with Nastya, and each memory as a needle in the body was painful and made him suffer. And then Sergei, his close friend, came to the rescue. He always knew how to support Andrei in difficult times. "Dude, don't think about it. Everything passes and this will pass. The wounds will heal. You're bound to find someone who'll love you back. You're already on the right track. You're just a little bit away from healing." He talked about the importance of believing in yourself and your strength. There was sincerity in his every word, which resonated in Andrei's soul. "You will be happy, I give you my word," Sergei said, encouraging his friend. With each conversation, Andrei realized, you cannot dwell on the past. You should not let Nastya break him. He began to go out, socialize with friends, even began to play sports. Although sometimes he wanted to take revenge on Nastya, but he caught himself thinking that it was his own fault. He deserved it. After all, so much pain he brought to the girls with whom he had not been so ceremonious before, sometimes disappeared without explanation, feeling that the next beauty fell in love with him up to his ears. Years later, everything changed. Andrei really found his happiness. With Sofia he met at school when he came to pick up Seryoga's younger sister. The girl introduced him to her teacher, and then Andrei realized he had found his happiness. He was afraid to break his heart again, afraid that it would again be a punishment for what he had once done. But surprisingly, everything worked out for them. Sofia bore him a beautiful son, whom Andrei taught to be a good man and never to offend women. Years later, Andrei saw how unhappy his mother was. But she tolerates her husband, tolerates the bad attitude towards herself, because she believes that this is the way it should be. Now, looking at his family, he realizes that happiness is not in the number of relationships, but in their sincerity. He has transformed from a catcher to a father and loving husband by removing the shackles of his past. No old stories of revenge and broken hearts have power over him anymore. Andrei will never forget how he was once wounded by Nastya, but now it is only a reason to smile. He has become wiser and learned to appreciate real relationships.